Oh,
Oh, okay. All
No, you're
right.
good. You're good.
sorry,
You're good.
sorry.
We can
Don't
edit it.
forget to say like, sub, all that shit.
Yeah,
Follow
yeah, I
us on
got
our
it.
socials. Okay, okay, okay.
Yeah, that's what I was typing out because I
Well, he
wanted to
said
get
it
the
last
right.
week, and look, we got more views, we got more
Yeah,
followers,
it
so
popped
maybe it
off.
helps.
You
Yeah.
got to ask for this shit, bro. All right, Spurs Bros Podcast, episode 7. Wimby, 50 piece, 50 burger, 50-piece McNugget. We're going to talk all the crazy stats and records that Wimby set in our win against the Wizards. Spurs went 500 again this past week over the last 4 games, 2 NBA Cup games in there. We're going to review the last week of Spurs basketball, what we liked, what we didn't like. We're going to hit on the City Edition jerseys. Let us know in the comments on our socials. What do y'all think? City Edition jerseys, good, bad, indifferent? We're also going to go talk about the new downtown arena plan that the Spurs have unveiled. $4 billion project titled Project Marvel. So stay tuned towards the end of the episode to see what the new venue for the Spurs is going to look like in the future. We're also going to preview the next 3 games, see if we can come back to episode 8 as a 500 ball club or better. Follow us on socials, guys. Really appreciate the support so far. Instagram at Spurs Bros Podcast, on X at Spurs Bros Pod, YouTube at Spurs Bros Podcast. And again, we are now on Spotify. So check us out on Spotify, the Spurs Bros Podcast there. If you're listening on Spotify, please, 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 5-star reviews, give us a follow, really helps us out as we look to build our brand and spread the word. If you like what you're hearing, leave us a comment. Tell us what you like, what you don't like, what you want to hear, and tell a friend. Tell a fellow Spurs bro. Let's get into it. Episode 7. Here it comes.
Spurs Bros, episode 7 coming at you. How are we doing?
Doing
Doing
good,
good.
fellas.
That's good, boys.
Let's go. I am your host, Alec Bogus. We got Stuart Lynch, Tim Mendez, and Reagan Keough on the horn. Full house again. Man, I can't wait to dive into all this content. Since we last spoke, Spurs Bros pod listeners, we've gone 2-2, bringing our record to 7-8 for the season. I think Stu called 1-3, and Tim, Reagan, and I would call 2-2. So I'm happy about it, man. 7-8. I think I didn't look at the stats, but I think it took us till like January 27th last year to get to our 10th win. We're really close to making our 10th win, but well before January, well before the year end. So I'm excited about it. But to kick the things off, something really important happened. I was talking about, I think it was the last podcast or 2 podcasts ago, saying, you know what? I feel like Wemby, he's had good stat lines, but he hasn't really had like a breakthrough game yet. I seem to remember saying that, was kind of just feeling like about him. And sure enough, I think that next game against the Wizards, he literally had a career game. Please, Reagan, tell us what happened there.
50 burger. The boy went crazy. Truly alien numbers, man. Man is 7'5". And just to take in the stat line because it was the Wizards, and I know we don't want to spend a ton of time on the actual game because it's all the focus about Wemby and the incredible stuff that he did that night. But oh my God, he was just to start count them, 8 3-pointers on 16 attempts, 50% from the field or from the 3-point line. He was 18 of 29 from the field, 6 of 9 from the free throw line. Crazy shooting night. So 50 points to go with 6 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, 3 turnovers, and plus 13 on the night. Spurs cruise to a 139 to 130 victory. The game was not as close as the final score would say that it was. We were ahead for pretty much the entire game, outscored the Wizards by 17 in the third quarter when Wemby did most of his damage. The coolest note that I had about this was that Victor Wembanyama now holds the record in NBA history for the fastest 50-point performance ever. So it took him 26 minutes and change to get to the 50-point mark, and I believe that was with about 7 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. He came out for a few minutes, didn't score down the final home stretch when we had the game locked away. But yeah, 26 minutes and change. Next closest to do it with about 27 minutes was Klay Thompson and Joel Embiid. So rarefied air, another record for the alien. Unbelievable performance, set Twitter on fire, and got the W against a team that we had to beat. We called it a must win. And
Stu did.
Stuart, I'm glad you're here this week because if we had taken an L, we might have missed you until January.
It'll be
Yeah.
a three-man pod this week, boys. But I'm here. We got the must-win that we needed. Yeah, as you said, dude, Wemby just completely knocked everyone off their ass that night. He was dominating. There was no one who could stop him. He was killing his Frenchy boy Star. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do y'all think taking 29 shots a night is a thing he should be? Trust me, I love the 50, but we all love it. But do you think that was a little kind of crazy then at 29 shots in the game, or do you think that's a number he should be reaching way more often?
I think he'll develop into
I
that.
love that night. I mean, yeah, keep shooting. Feed the hot hand.
Yeah, you think it's because he was hitting them, so that everyone just fucking kept throwing them to him?
I think
Yeah.
so.
I mean, seeing 16 3-point attempts is crazy, but
Yeah.
I mean, like half of them, yeah, keep shooting.
Yeah. I mean, he hit 62% of his shots from the field across the whole night and 50% of threes on that kind of volume. I mean, I'll take it. I mean, if the team were to take 16 threes in a half and we made 8, I'd say, hell yeah, we got a hot hand, keep launching them. So if Wemby could do that himself, cool. I don't know about every night yet. I don't think he's ready to handle that kind of a scoring load every night, but this shows what he's capable of. And fast forward a couple years, shit, dude, take 25, 30 shots a game. I'm not going to have a single problem with it.
I think Kobe Bryant will be whispering in his ear from heaven. And dude,
That's what I was thinking as I said
30
that.
shots,
Keep
35
going.
shots. Nah, excellent, man. That was what a spectacular game. I remember seeing that. Gosh, man, he's alien. He's alien. There's nothing else to say about that. But after that Wizards win, we did take on the Lakers. We were super pumped to watch the Lakers game. It was a primetime game, Friday night, ESPN, and we lost in a close one. We lost 120 to 115. Wemby had another big game. He had 28 points, 14 boards, 5 assists, 2 blocks, and a steal. And Devin also poured in 15 points and 5 assists off the bench. Beyond that, one of the main showstoppers in that game, despite the loss, was, again, Stephon Castle. Stephon, I think that was truly his breakout game. Remember, I was saying it. I was hoping that he have a big game on national television. So, one of the guys, Chuck, or I know it wasn't TNT, but someone would start to really hype him up as well, kind of boost him up in the Rookie of the Year standings. But boy, he killed it. 22 points and 5 assists. He had a lot of clutch plays down the stretch. He knocked down a few free throws, less than 2 minutes left or something like that. He had a nice, someone kicked it to him. I think it was Chris Paul or somebody did, rip through, drive to the basket, and finish over LeBron in the help side. He had it all going on. And LeBron talked to him after the game. They showed the cameras afterwards, and they were chatting for a bit. And as LeBron was heading to the locker room, they had the camera following him, and they asked him.
Quick little blowy.
Yeah.
Quick little blowy. Yeah. Incredible.
Exactly. That's what he said, basically. That's what he basically said. He's like, man, keep going. That's what he said. That's what he told the young fella. So, man, Stephon, hats off to you. We are your biggest supporters, man. I love you so much. And it's just awesome to see him continue to grow so fast. We talked about it last week as well, that because Devin, has been out, he's coming back from injury, but Jeremy's been out as well. Trey Jones is just getting back, which we'll get into in a second. But with those guys out, Stephon, he had to step up. So I'm really happy that he's stepping up with confidence. So any notes about that game?
I mean, we called it. Tim talked about it. Big time atmosphere, NBA Cup game. At home, new court, special jerseys to match the court. I liked the everything. The NBA Cup courts are sick because they've got the whole trophy down the middle now. It gives that kind of throwback vibe to when they used to put the finals trophy at half court. Remember that? It took up like the whole court. Yeah. So I like the courts. The atmosphere was sick. You've got AD, LeBron coming to town. It was a hell of a game. I thought we were going to pull off the win, which would have been great because I think half of us called it. Said that we thought we were going to beat the Lakers. Would have been awesome if we could have gotten it done. Honestly, fellas, I think if we had Jeremy Sohan in that game as a defensive stopper, I think the result ends up as a W. Stuart pointed that out last week that it's going to be tough without Sohan to guard LeBron.
Mm-hmm.
That proved to be very true. But I just liked how we handled it. We were competitive the entire game. Couple of plays, we execute better down the stretch on a couple of plays and we come out with a win. So I liked it. Good progress, big atmosphere for the young guys to be a part of, fine tune some stuff and look ahead.
Yeah, dude, it was a hell of a game. I mean, we can't stop talking about Stephon. Like we keep saying, he's not even in our notes every week, and then we just have to talk about him with how he's performing as a 19-year-old rookie. You got LeBron, telling him stuff after the game. He's getting interviewed. He has that mentality, a Spur, and we just can't stop talking. Like I said last week, play to where you can't get taken off the court, and probably average our most minutes right now of anyone on the team. He's young. He's got the legs. He's just doing it all.
He did turn 20 a couple weeks ago, but yeah.
He's a
Yeah,
vet now.
barely. Yeah.
It's yeah, it's getting tough to imagine him not in the starting lineup anymore. And if he's not going to be in the starting lineup when we're fully healthy, like you at least have to get him close or near 30 minutes a game, maybe being in the crunch time lineup of a close game. And we've talked about it before, but even if his shot's not falling, he keeps letting them fly. He's not, it's not going to get in his head or anything. If he misses a couple free throws, he's going to keep attacking. So yeah, love everything that he's shown so far. It was really cool seeing LeBron talk to him after the game. Like, LeBron's not just going to do that to anybody. So yeah, it's really cool, really exciting.
Yeah.
Tim, I'm glad that you said you just can't see him not in the starting five anymore, quite frankly, because that stat came out, I think a couple of days ago, about how the starting five, current Spurs starting five of CP, Wemby, Champagnie, Harrison, and Steph have the best plus minus of any starting five in the league.
Ooh.
That's crazy. That's crazy. We have a rookie starting, a sophomore starting, two vets, obviously, and then a Champagnie making a couple mil a year. That's crazy that we have the best plus minus. And we're doing it, yeah, with Jeremy, who's our best player to start the season. Devin, our highest paid guy, our leading scorer from previous years. What do we think? Are we going to, once we have a healthy team, it's going to be damn hard to break up this starting five if they keep performing how they are.
It's going to be
that's
tough.
That's crazy to think about. Yeah,
Yeah.
Jeremy and Devin coming off the bench.
I know.
But
I mean, it's not even
what
close.
are we going to do?
Like that plus minus thing that you're talking about, that group so far, as of that, when that came out, which was 2 days ago on Monday, that starting lineup is plus 58. The next closest is the Rockets at plus 44. So, and then everybody's bunched up, plus 43, 38, 28. So, like, it's not even close. I mean, it's dominant basketball, those
like,
five.
Yeah, we're low-key winning. We're staying, winning compared to previous years. We're staying 500. I don't know. I'm liking how they look out there. I like their cohesiveness. I don't know if I want to break that up once we have a full healthy team. And quite frankly, not only just boost our second group, freaking Jeremy and Devin in the second group with Trey and Kelly. That's pretty sick.
That would go crazy.
I don't know. Like, I want Jeremy to be in the starting lineup because of everything that he brings on the defensive end. And with the guys that we're going to be playing against, I want to see Sohan taking that on, setting the tone early as he's done. But at the same time, man, yeah, like you said, it's hard to argue with the results so far.
Yeah. I mean, do you also think Wemby's 50 burger and then 28 again? Do y'all think that happened right after Jeremy got out of that starting five?
Yeah.
I think he's it's kind of opening it up for Wemby, shoot more.
Maybe.
Because Jeremy, he's not a shooter. We all know that. He's clogging up those lanes inside. I mean, I don't know.
It's possible. I do think that it was still after the anonymous scout said that he's not impactful on offense and all that shit.
Yeah.
So I think that was still part of it. And I forget who it was, but in post game he was like, one of the guys was saying like, Wemby will never say this, but he heard some of that. So he had a point to prove, a couple of big games, but I don't know.
What makes me love Wemby so much is because he's, again, I like to use the word stoic. He's just so chill about it, but he'll drop the most epic one-liners on you, and he's still got that killer mentality, even if he doesn't show it, or he'll as aggressive in your face as say like a Russell Westbrook or somebody like that. But yeah, he knows what's going on.
Yeah, and Steph's the same way with that.
Both absolute Spurs.
I want to go back real quick because I did compile a lit to the Wizards game. Not to talk about the game, but to talk about Wemby, because I did compile a bunch of stats. Twitter was going crazy. Internet was on fire, like I said. So I just want to read off the number of things that Victor set records for and the clubs that he joined in that performance. So stay with me here. But he's the first player in NBA history to have 3 straight games with 6+ three-pointers and multiple blocks. 8th player in Spurs history to score 50+ points. Joins the Admiral, Iceman, LaMarcus Aldridge, TP, Duncan, Terry Cummings, and Larry Keenan. 4th youngest player in NBA history to score 50. Brandon Jennings, who was a bucket. Then LeBron and Devin Booker. So 4th youngest in NBA history to score 50. He's, like we said, the fastest to score in NBA history to score 50 points in 26 minutes. He's also the youngest center ever with 8+ threes. Again, the company that he's in, the last 4 players to hit 6+ threes in 3 straight games. This is insanity. Steph, Trae Young, Klay Thompson.
Gee.
Now Wemby's number 4 with that. 6 threes in 3 straight games. And he's also the first center in NBA history with 3 straight games of 5+ three-pointers made. That was all in one night.
Yeah.
And it's first ever, best ever, fastest ever, youngest ever, only person ever. Just casual night for Vic. So I just had to go back because the amount of stuff that, like, to put that in perspective, it was nuts. But anyway, moving on.
No, yeah. Moving on, and I wanted to point back to you, Tim. You said about Steph, what you liked about him is that he's going to keep shooting even if he's not making it. I remember, I think it was after the Thunder game, which we'll get into in a bit, but I think he said something about how I'm not worried about if I miss or turn it over or whatever because I can just make it up on defense. I know for a fact.
Mhm.
I love that so much, man. I love that so much. Yeah. And right before we move on from the Lakers, a couple of things that stood out for me. I know we just talked about Wemby's greatness right there, but still, I want to see him be stronger with the basketball, work on his ball handling. He had 5 turnovers against the Lakers. I think 4 of them were in the first half. I think I counted out loud. And man, that's just it's a little annoying. I know he's got the ball.
He's just so lengthy, and he has
I know.
6 guys guarding him who are way lower.
I get it. No, I get it.
Lower to the floor, it's way easier to steal it for them. Hard for him to dribble.
I know. So whatever. Well, yeah.
Every time he puts the ball on the floor on the perimeter to do his like between the legs stuff or
4
whatever,
guys are freaking.
I always think it's going to get poked away by a shorter guy.
Yeah. So that, and then also I gotta give it to JJ, man. JJ Redick did a good job with the Lakers. I mean, he literally the last play of the game that kind of sealed the deal for them. They gave him a go-ahead bucket was a nice action play, a lot of moving back screens, and I think they had LeBron cutting to the basket. He got a bucket toward the end of the shot clock. It was perfectly executed.
Yeah, JJ's an X's and O's guy.
He's good, man.
He's good with that.
Congrats.
Self-proclaimed sycophant, which is he likes to suffer, which is just the amount that he's grinding film. And yeah, I was a big fan of his podcast. And when he was breaking stuff down with LeBron, basically as a head coach tryout for 3 months, yeah, they were going deep dives in that stuff.
Yeah, he could tell his knowledge of the game is crazy.
Yeah, we were talking about Mitch Johnson ATOs. I think JJ Redick's bag of ATO plays is deep.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Learned from Coach K in college for 3 years, and then
Van Gundy in Orlando.
Yeah, 10, 15 years in the league. Yeah, he's got it.
But moving along here, after that Spurs loss to the Lakers, we had to play a back-to-back game. We had to go up to Dallas, played against the Mavericks. We did not have Wemby, Devin, or Jeremy Sohan in that game. Wemby, he got hurt toward the end of the game. I don't think it was anything too serious. I think he just got banged up by AD. I think it was a knee or a leg thing.
Knee.
Yeah. So he wasn't playing. Devin was injury management, whatever, coming back from his foot. I understand that. And obviously Jeremy's out. So we played that, and it looked good for that first half, and it was the third quarter. I know we have some really cool stats on the third quarter as far as the Spurs this year stepping it up and not reverting, but we reverted on Saturday. We had I think we scored 18 points total in the third quarter against the Mavericks. It was kind of despicable to watch. I think they scored 38 or something. They got hot. It was tough. And Malachi, they didn't put Malachi in the end until the end. And by then he was already cold. Nobody else was scoring the ball. I think Mamu, he had 14 points in 17 minutes. I think he should have played more. It was just some weird stuff there. So Zach Collins, this says something. He led our team scoring in points, rebounds, and blocks. 20 points, 6 rebounds, and 3 blocks. But obviously, don't let the stat lines fool you. He still Gafford pulled the chair on him, and he looked silly, and he fell over himself, picked his pocket, and Zach was being Zach. It's just tough, man. It was tough to watch. Just no
0 for 5 from the 3-point land in that game.
Was he?
Zach Collins.
Okay.
0 for 5 from 3.
All right.
He hit 8 of 8 free throws, which is cool, but
that's where his 20 points came from.
Yeah, low key, he's been a great free throw shooter, probably our best on the team, right, this year, or maybe it's still Wemby.
Wemby is,
Wemby.
But
was
Wemby can't get to the line for shit.
For a while. Yeah.
They won't give Wemby any calls.
Yeah. We talked about that Mavericks game though as being kind of a letdown spot. Again, Friday, Lakers NBA Cup at home, big time national TV game. Back to back, got to zoom up to Dallas up here. Wemby didn't play. We were sitting guys. I didn't have a lot of hope for this game. Tickets were crazy expensive too, all week leading up to it. I'm glad I didn't drop $400 to go sit in the nosebleeds up here to watch not Wemby, basically, and take an L. I mean, we outscored the Mavericks by 7 in the fourth quarter. So the final score again made it look a little bit closer than it was at 17. But yeah, it was a 24-point game at the end of the third quarter. So not competitive, not really worth the time, and kind of just chalk that one up to a schedule loss, I think, honestly.
Yeah, we did all call that. That's true. Like I think we were all in agreement. Yeah, back to back after the NBA Cup game, we could probably see someone sitting, and sure enough, that all happened. Chris Paul, I think he played pretty well, despite I know he did play. But man, I had a hot take. I was watching that game, and I don't know if it's because I was my mood, but watching that game, I think Luka Doncic, seriously, I do believe this, that Fat Boy Luka, is on a fast track to becoming the greatest player to ever play without winning a ring. I think, dude,
that is a hot take.
No,
I don't think it's that hot.
No, I think
he'll leave the Mavs to get a ring before he just stays there his whole career like Dirk did.
Okay, well, maybe, and if they get,
I could very much see Luka being a Laker one day.
Yeah, exactly. Or if he joins another super team or something. But as it stands right now, oh my gosh, nobody must have checked him when he was a kid. Obviously, he was super fucking phenomenal. He was a phenom since he was a little boy. I think nobody checked him. He comes in the league. He dominates straight off the bat. And oh my gosh, he can't not do this with his hands every single fucking time down there. It's a Saturday night game. Nobody's playing like for the Spurs. And he can't fucking not complain. And he shoots his shots and stuff. And he got going from 3, got people up in the air, got to the free throw line. He did his thing. But that is not winning basketball. That's an awful way to lead a team. Wemby would never do that.
Thank God you're not a Mavs fan.
Yeah,
dude, Mavs
I guarantee you that is night in and night out. I guarantee you.
Yeah, it is. It was. I mean, I went to the game last night here in Dallas against the Pelicans. Shout out Jake, the Pelicans video coordinator, my college roommate. So free tickets. I was at the game last night. But yeah, it was the same thing, dude. Like you couldn't name half the players on the Pelicans roster because they're so banged up. And Luka is still looking at the refs like, dude, what the hell are you doing? Call this shit. And meanwhile, everybody in the stands is like, run the clock in this game. Like shit's over. It was a 40-point game in the third quarter. Like it wasn't close. But yeah, he's still falling down. What the hell? Throwing his arms out, couldn't get over anything. I mean, he had his points, he had his numbers, but yeah, it was like, dude, it's a 40-point game. Relax.
Interesting take though. So no ring in his career.
I agree though. I don't think it's a hot take. It's Harden Jr. He's James Harden Jr.
High usage
It's the same shit. Crazy numbers, dribble, and step back 3, cash. But like at the end of the day, you get to the playoffs, and what did Kobe Bryant says twice in a podcast. Shout out. But he talked about Harden's style of basketball being not a winning style because he comes in and it's easy to guard that shit one-on-one. All you have to do is slide over. If you know he's not going to pass, you can load up on his 1 or 2 moves, or you just let him score 45 and nobody else touches the ball the whole game. Team scores 95 and they lose, 90 and they lose. It's not playoff basketball. I like your take, Alec. Fuck the Mavericks. Luka, incredible player. But you get to the playoffs, it ain't it.
It worked in the playoffs last year until the finals.
They got smoked in the finals.
They made it.
They got
out of the West.
Smoked in the finals.
I'm aware, but
all I'm saying is this: is that Wemby literally has said the opposite. His action has demonstrated the complete opposite of saying, "I want Coach Pop to kick my fucking ass. I want him to yell at me when I do that much wrong on defense. Yeah. When I do that much wrong on like." I want him to rein me in. I want the discipline. I want this, that, like, and he's showing it. And
you think Jay Kidd's not kicking his ass?
No, hell no.
Players coach.
Hell no.
Players coach.
And you also got Kyrie. Yeah, he's lucky he's got Kyrie with him too. I mean,
and Klay Thompson.
Yeah,
bro. Okay, Luka Doncic, greatest player to ever play basketball. They're 1 game up on the Spurs in the standings right now. They're 8-7. We're 7-8. Fuck out of here. We didn't even play your team. We didn't even play like our main guys against you on a back-to-back night. Get out of here. Mavericks suck. Rivalry's back. Luka can suck it.
All right.
Damn, I got heated.
But he's been complaining, looking for calls stuff his whole career. And when they went to the finals last year and they were the talking point on sports shows every single night. Remember, it started to get called out by all these people. And then the one game they won in the finals, you could tell like he's going out of his way to not do that crap.
Yes.
And they actually won the game. And
Yeah.
like,
Like it was it was like, oh my God, a competent Luka is unstoppable. But when he's focused on all this side crap, I think it's a great point, Alec. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
No, and Tim, you're right. That was the one game they won. He'd get a bad call on him. He'd just get up and run back on defense. It didn't matter. And I
Great
think
call,
if you could
Tim.
have set
Yeah.
that standard, then yeah, they'd be dangerous. So unless he does that, loses some weight, gets jacked, leaned up, and then just doesn't complain, just try for 10 games without saying a single word. Just try that. I'm
Dude,
giving.
go look up like a highlight reel from Luka in his first or second year in the league. He looks like a different human being. He's like
Weight size?
50 pounds slimmer, bro. He looks like an actual basketball player. We went to the game last night, and my wife was like, he doesn't look like an athlete. Like, yeah, he's a little pudgy boy. Like,
American food
it's
system, boy.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, well, he's known for his beers, and hookah Luka. But yeah.
All right. Well, either way, we digress. That's
Yeah.
enough there. But after that devastating loss to the Lakers, we lose against the Mavs. We come up against the Thunder. We are also out Wemby again. Devin again, who I thought was going to play, and Jeremy, of course. And so they didn't have Hartenstein. They didn't have Chet because both are out. So their big guys are out. But nonetheless, they have SGA, and I think they're still the number one team in the West, are they?
Warriors are 10-3. Thunder are now, so after last night, we basically kicked them to second place because the Warriors
Okay.
are 10-3, Thunder are 11-4. Technically, that's a tie in the standings, but Warriors have one less loss.
Okay. Either way, we won. Spurs Bros. I'm just going to kick it to the end. I'll give you the flip to the end of the book. We won the game 110-104. That was phenomenal. Guys, I need y'all's hot takes on this.
Keldon Johnson, poster boy. I
Right.
know that went crazy. I had people that do not talk to me about Spurs basketball ever hitting my phone up saying, "What are y'all feeding Keldon? What's Keldon on? He looks crazy, different player." This is the transformed body we talked
I
about.
was going to say Luka should learn from him. Lost 30 pounds in the offseason and boom.
He's dunking on people again. He had the crazy poster in preseason. We talked about it against the Jazz. Caught it right in stride. 1-2 bam. This one he created on himself. Who was it that fell to the ground last night?
Aaron Wiggins, I think.
Yeah, Wiggins fell over and then dunked over Jalen Williams and all over SGA. I put that screenshot on the Spurs Bros Pod Instagram story. If you're not following us on Instagram, go follow us on Instagram, Spurs Bros Pod. But yeah, just all over Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. It was nasty.
It's beautiful. Here, let me show that for the Spurs Bros who didn't catch that game. I just want to show that quick highlight.
Wiggins has 11. Oh.
Beautiful.
Rich.
Ripped through. Beautiful.
Crowd went nuts. Boys on the bench went nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah, hell of a win. The atmosphere was crazy last night. And it kept us in contention for the NBA Cup to make it over to Vegas. We're 1-1 now. It's basically a must-win, so that was cool. But more importantly, overall record. Absolute great win. It was playoff basketball. I think those kind of environments are great for our boys to get a taste of. Obviously, we didn't have Wemby, Devin, or Jeremy. They didn't have Chet, but the environment was what made it playoff basketball-like, and that was great for the boys to learn. Having Chris there and Harrison, great for them, of course, who have played playoff basketball. Yeah, I think that was not only the environment, but that took me back to old Spurs. We had 7 guys who had double-digit scoring. That's like old, beautiful game Spurs. They're dishing the ball out. A lot of guys had multiple assists. So it was great to see with, basically our 3 best players on the bench. So great win.
I was nervous about this game. Ever since Chet went out, they're basically not playing anyone over like 6'6". So I thought we had a chance, but OKC's so good and so deep. I was skeptical. And once we got to halftime and it was apparent we were going to be in this thing, it was one of those games that I just really wanted. And
buckled in. Yeah.
That might have been the most stressed I've been all season. Again, nobody over 6'6", but they were crashing the offensive glass. When we finally did get a defensive board, there was someone right around trying to poke it away. I feel like, we went to a zone in the third quarter for a while, and man, I feel like every time we go into a zone, just doesn't work. Like the other team has wide open threes, but yeah, luckily OKC just wasn't really making them. But yeah, that's killing me too.
Yeah, zones are really hit or miss for us, I feel like in the past. Like it's just we haven't had the discipline, I feel like, to make some of those rotations and have the communication with a bunch of young guys. So yeah, I get that, Tim. Anytime I see
Yeah.
us go to that like 2-3 matchup kind of zone that we play, or sometimes
Especially
in
in
3-2 match,
especially in modern day NBA where everyone can shoot.
it's so
Back in the
tough.
day, 10, 15 years ago, it was fine when normal teams had 1 to 2 guys on the floor could shoot. Now, everyone can shoot on the floor,
I
so it's
think with
tough
certain
to.
lineups, we can play that zone when we get Jeremy and Devin, who's super long back in there, Steph at the point, Julian, or Harrison, that those bigger lineups we can put out there with Wemby on the court. I think that's better, but some of these smaller lineups we've had to play, yeah, it's tougher to make those rotations. But Stu, you said the NBA Cup standings. Yeah, we're right now right in the middle of our group. Lakers are 2-0, and then we're tied with the Thunder and the Suns at 1-1. But the Suns have a -8 point differential. We're +1. So that gives us a tiebreaker there. And, if it comes down to a tie between us and the Thunder, we beat them. So we have that tiebreaker. We just got to have the Lakers lose a game
Yeah.
or two
Yeah,
and us
Lakers would
win
be
out.
us and the Jazz, so they still have the tough two of Phoenix and OKC. So hopefully they drop one of those.
Yeah. Hopefully,
And obviously
KD
we
will be
got to
back
beat.
for that game for them.
Yeah, we obviously have to win out too.
Yeah, I think if we drop another cup game, we will not be, in contention for Vegas because it's the 3 group winners and then the best record across the conference after that will go to the
Which we
tournament.
shouldn't lose to the Jazz again because now we know the reason we lost to them on that Saturday night in San Antonio was that was the day Pop stroke happened. So rumblings that few players were present when it happened. So it was kind of in their heads. So that's tough to see and go through. But so obviously that was kind of an emotional day for the boys. We still only lost by 1. But we shouldn't be losing to them again. So hopefully we take care of business against them and then just comes down to Phoenix.
For me, on that win against the Thunder, 3 things. I'll go number 3, which is Zach Collins. I know we just, talked our talk.
Happy birthday, Zach.
It was his 27th birthday, and I had to give it to him, man. I thought he did pretty okay. I watched
how much money did he make last night, Alec? How much money did he make last night to play pretty okay?
Yeah.
Well, what is it? 234 grand a game? Was that what it was?
I already forget the number. It was too much. It was definitely well in the 6 figures. Yes. Yes. So that's. I would probably be in a good mood too.
So play pretty okay. Yeah. What a life.
But no, man. I'm trying to give him some. Kudos, man.
I'm not allowing it.
I'm trying to give him some kudos, man. Where he deserves. He ran the floor hard. He was aggressive. He didn't turn the ball over too much, at least from what I saw. And he knocked down a huge 3 in the corner at the end of the game, which was
closed his eyes, chucked it up there, bang.
Blind squirrel finds a nut every once in a while. Okay, all right, fair enough. All right, we'll get off of that. Jeez, we're not allowed to compliment him yet.
Well, if we're talking Zach, let's talk about. Hopefully, he's just completely lost his time on the floor once Wemby's back because Bassey was an absolute monster last night.
That was my number 2.
Talk about earning your minutes.
Yeah, Bassey. That was my number 2. It was Charles Bassey. He had huge minutes for us last night. You had Reggie Miller. I love when one of our random role players, steps up, and then Reggie Miller goes absolutely freaking berserk. Oh my gosh, this young man! Yeah. So he was calling his name all night. He had, I think what did he have? I think he had 8 rebounds.
8 boards and like 12
rebounds, a couple blocks.
Yep, couple blocks.
He had some impressive
big
finishes.
Blocks.
Yeah, but the finishing ability was what I was surprised about. He was jumping out the gym a little bit on a couple of those lob passes that Steph and CP3 were throwing to him.
Stronger than Zach, more athletic than Zach. Much rather him be in that second group.
He kept the ball alive, had a nice big offensive rebounds, gave us some extra possessions, finished around the rim like we just said. That was awesome, man. And so that was number 2. Number 1, I thought, was I got to give it to Chris Paul, man. Chris Paul he's unbelievable. He again 39.
Showed up.
He hasn't missed a game yet. He had 14 points, 11 assists, 5 boards in 31 minutes. Unfortunately, toward the end of the game, it looked like he hurt his left thumb, which I believe was the thumb that sidelined him last year against with the Warriors when he was playing with the Warriors.
Looked like that shit popped out, right?
Probably. Probably.
I think I saw that he's listed probable for tomorrow, so I think
Yeah.
this should be good.
Okay.
After the
Good.
game in his interview, he said he's good to go. He's a competitor. It
Good.
happens, but he said he was fine.
Yeah.
Good.
That's good.
Well, that's amazing, man. I love that. And why he was number one for me was because, again, he was just the leader out there. I love that he's been saying all season in post-game interviews or training camp, whatever it was, he talks a lot about belief, and our guys got to believe first. We are
Believe
good.
they're going to win. Yeah.
Exactly. And I think he also said this. He's like, the guys don't want to hear you just talk about it and be like, hey, guys, we can go win every game. You got to go show it, and you got to go prove to these guys as well. And so the fact that he had a couple of really clutch buckets down the stretch as well, especially after he got hurt, not getting too high, not getting too low. We blew a big lead, and he just calm, steady. I love to see that, and I think that definitely translates over, and that's worth all $11 million that we're paying him or whatever.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
The three that he hit on the right wing with about 50 seconds left, sidestep over right in somebody's eye, bro. Nothing but net. That was like, oh my God, if he's on a different team and he does that to me, it's just debilitating. Seen it for 19 years of him in this league, not on the Spurs. For it to finally be in a Spurs jersey is a surreal experience. And honest, can't believe I'm here, but thank God Chris Paul is a Spur because that shot was sick. It sealed a dub, a huge win, momentum builder, and I love it. Yeah, I can't believe I'm a Chris Paul fan. What is it?
That was on Caruso too. He was all up in his face. Yeah. He just brings that calmness, that patience when the shot clock's winding down. He's not in a hurry. When we have numbers, but maybe we shouldn't attack the basket, he pulls it out. He just finds somebody maybe cutting to the corner, and it's just something that we haven't been used to the last couple of years. So yeah, it's been really cool to see.
Yeah, I liked what he said after the game too. Talking about Steph Castle, basically said, I hope Steph doesn't get tired of me talking to him because I'm talking to him constantly. Basically confirming like he has completely taken Steph Castle under his wing. He's taking every chance he can to give him a pointer, give him a tip, show him this, show him that. And most of all, he said he's just been encouraging him because he's like, I remember he said, it just takes me back to when, years, earlier in my career when I had a step on everybody and I could just get downhill, get past guys, get easy buckets at the rim. I see the same thing in Steph. So I just keep telling him, go to the basket, go to the rim, be aggressive. Alec talked about the confident mindset that he's developing. I think that's coming from Chris Paul pushing him, and it's been a really good thing for him. So to have an all-timer like Chris Paul speak that highly of our rookie, the guy who's going to get the keys next year, is pretty sweet.
Well said, guys. As of November 12th, Chris Paul this season, Spurs with CP off the floor, minus 50, plus minus, or minus 10.3 net rating. And with him on the floor is plus 49, plus minus 6.3 net rating. Yeah, he has a 5.9 net rating overall, the highest on the Spurs by 2.2. So that's at 39 years old. He's been so awesome, man. It's been a pleasure to watch. So
is that like tops in the league? I gotta look that up. I'll come back to me on that. But that's pretty damn impressive.
San Antonio Spurs City Edition jerseys. Does anyone want to unveil them for us? What do we think about them? I'm either or on them. I'm not too hot, not too cold on them. What do y'all think?
Yeah, well, I won't be buying one.
The blue tint kind of came out of nowhere. I don't know. I feel like they're like,
I didn't mind that.
Let's make this year blue, and it'll be different than last year.
Okay,
it's fine.
I like the shorts.
Shorts are cool.
All right.
The
still should be
video
something
they put out was cool.
Something way more with these colors in there. Still need to do something way more similar to that.
Actual
Get our
Fiesta
colors in there. Yep.
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah. Meh. Whatever.
All right. That's fine.
I've had a lot of people on social media, but also like just people that I know, like commenting on them, and they're like, "Why is it blue?"
Okay.
Like, I don't know. So I don't know. It's whatever. Get back to the Fiesta colors. Bottom line.
And in other news, though, the more exciting news, I believe, the San Antonio Spurs are finally unveiling Project Marvel, $4 billion Spurs Arena and Entertainment District. That is huge news. We knew, Spurs fans, that this was under wraps for a while. We knew that bringing Wemby to the city, He'd obviously attract billions and billions of dollars of revenue to the city. And we are building infrastructure around him to build for the future, which is a really smart idea. So I'm really excited about that. Does anyone want to sort of break down what that's going to entail?
I read the article put out on what was it? I want to credit the right source. Was it Kens Five?
Probably KSAT or Kens 5.
Yeah, but yeah, $4 billion project. It was the biggest headline that's come out before this was that the Spurs bought the rights to the land where the Institute of Texan Culture, is that what it's called? Downtown, across the street from the Alamo Dome is Native American Heritage, basically
Yes.
museum. Spurs bought the rights to that last year, so that's going to be part of it. I think they're going to tear that down,
I
but
think that's where going to be the stadium is going to be right
the
there.
the potential new arena, yeah.
Yes.
So
Arena.
they're gonna knock that down, new arena directly across the highway from the Alamo Dome, but it's gonna be a
Wow.
big mixed use space, kind of like what we're seeing across the league with the new Intuit Dome in LA. What was it, Deer Valley, they're calling it in Milwaukee with that whole stadium, everything. But anyways, new convention center space, new convention center hotel attached to that, the Spurs Arena. They're gonna part of this, apparently they're gonna have a massive renovation of the Alamo Dome, which has been voted in years past as one of the ugliest buildings in America. So I guess good there. It's gonna have a land bridge that connects the Alamo Dome side of the highway to the new Spurs Arena site. Mixed use, residential, retail, park spaces in there. They're gonna transform the John Wooden Courthouse to a theater. They've got a ton of stuff going on, but it's a $4 billion project. The one thing that to note in here, we can't get too excited about the new arena stuff because the Spurs do have a lease that's signed at the Frostbank Center that currently goes through 2032 and
32.
2032. So 7 more seasons after this one. They're planning to play out the games there. But I mean, the Intuit Dome was announced, what, 3 years ago, and they just started playing here. So we've got plenty of time to, perfect this and get us to the end of that lease, which would be 30 years at the SBC and then AT&T and T and now Frostbank Center. If we play there till 2032, that'll be exactly 30 years. Good era. I don't know how long we played in the Alamo Dome. It wasn't that long in Hemisphere Park. So be the fourth major home for the Spurs in San Antonio and what should be a beautiful space, revitalized downtown, bring a lot of revenue and things to do to our city, our hometown.
There you go. That'll be interesting. I don't know why we can't just take the Frost Bank Center sign and just move it over there. Why don't we just do that? Did they own the stadium? Does Frost Bank own the actual
No,
land?
Frostbank owns the naming rights, but I know that like at least the arena itself, the Spurs have signed a lease to play there that currently goes through 2032. So they would have to break that lease
Okay.
to, if the new arena was done in time, they'd have to break the lease to go and play there.
Okay.
And then, essentially then the Frostbank Center probably not going to be sponsored by Frostbank anymore.
Right.
But regardless of that, it is just going to turn into a concert venue on
Okay.
the random east side of downtown,
Right. Well, Zach
next
Collins
to a
can probably
graveyard. So
Zach Collins can probably help us break that lease with that contract we've got coming in. But you're right. That was part of the AT&T Center, SBC Center, Frostbank Center. I think that was the big vision, was to put it right there and hope that it would just spur a ton of innovation and activity in that area. And that really,
just never happened.
Yeah.
It'll be
yeah,
bittersweet. Four championships there, all of our good years there. So I mean, it'll be bittersweet to see it go. But by then, 2032, that should be prime. Our new championship years start coming around.
I hope.
yeah. Hopefully we have one by then.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Shit, 7 years from now.
It's exciting. I've heard like national sports reporters like Bill Simmons, when he covered the finals here back in 2014, like, yeah, kind of complaining or just wondering why the Frostbank Center, AT&T Center is so far away from downtown, everything else, like where their
Airport.
hotels were.
Yeah.
So yeah, well, and anytime there's an event at the Alamo Dome, March Madness is going to be here next year. Like it's always cool for everything to be in that central area.
Yeah.
And not that a Spurs game is as big as that, but yeah, it's just cool to be in the downtown area. You see other cities with, 3 major sports teams, like all their fields, arenas are in the downtown area, and it's just that'd be the ideal location.
Yeah, man. I wanted to cut over. I didn't have the stats in front of me, but I know we were talking about rookie of the year leaders. Does anyone have those stats off the top of the head? I mean,
Steph is getting robbed.
I just shared it the other day. Maybe that
Okay.
was this morning. Yeah, this afternoon. So I got it right here on the Dunk Central on Twitter. NBA is where I saw it, but the NBA.com updated rookie ladder #1, Jared McCain of the Sixers, who's
Nail
taking a
polish
big,
boy.
yeah. Any other comments there from the Spurs bros on the pod?
No.
I'm just gonna leave it at that.
He won't get many more minutes, bro. Once all the boys are healthy, he's not going to be getting 25, 30 minutes a game. So he's putting up points.
I think tonight it was the first game where Maxey, Embiid, and George were all playing, and McCain was starting, I think. So
Oh, well.
Yeah, I wonder what he's at on the night, but I think
he won't
he'll
be
get
able to put up shots. I don't think.
that's what I'm expecting. I don't think he's going to be able to.
I think they lost
Let's
the
see.
game. Yeah, they did.
He played well. Yeah, he's definitely going to get the minutes. He played 41 minutes tonight against the Grizzlies. 20 points on 6 of 13 shooting, 3 of 7 from 3-point line.
Dang it, that's efficient.
So
yeah,
I mean,
I just don't think the numbers last.
I don't either. I think as Joel Embiid gets his lumbering ass back into Joel Embiid, I'm not going to say in shape, but Joel Embiid shape.
Yeah.
Less and less shots are going to go
They're
McCain's
the worst
way. He's
team
gonna
in the
turn
league
into a
right now.
shooter. Yeah, they're bad. But anyway,
right,
Jared
2 and
McCain is
12.
#1 on that rookie ladder. Jalen Wells, Tim,
Uh,
anything? Anybody, anything?
Memphis. That's what I have.
Memphis, steal of the draft, apparently. Third is Dalton Connect, who went nuts last night for the Lakers. I think he hit 8 threes, 9 threes. He's going berserk. So
Yeah.
he's scoring a lot. Lakers, tons
we
of hype.
talked Tim last week. Yeah, he's just going to be getting open looks with all the other guys on the floor.
Yeah, I mean, what do you expect? He spent 4 years at Tennessee. Very, very experienced player there.
No, fact check.
4 years at Tennessee.
I'm gonna keep that going all year. Risa Shea at #4 for the Bums of Atlanta. Zach Edey #5, and then our boy Stephon Castle at #6 on the rookie ladder. So Jared McCain, Jalen Wells, Dalton Connect, Risa Shea, Zach Edey, and Stephon Castle.
Is Jalen Wells a guard?
He's probably like a tweener guard, small forward, maybe.
Okay. So I'm saying, I know Jaw's been out for a while, so is he just getting all those minutes right now and putting up numbers?
Right, yeah. Jaw's been out a little bit. I think Desmond Bane's been out a little bit. So yeah, he's been getting more minutes.
But
so
I think
unfortunately, yeah, I think Stephon's numbers aren't going to be sexy enough, even though as a whole, his offense and defense, he probably impacts the game more than any of these guys. But the votes aren't going to look at that part of the game.
I don't feel as bad not knowing who Jalen Wells is now because I just looked him up on Google, and ESPN has his roster picture as Jaren Jackson III. So
Triple J.
Yeah,
all right.
quietly second place in the rookie ladder, but Stephon is climbing because I think last week he was like #9 or #11 or something. So he's making an impact. He's climbing up there.
Well, there you go. And you know what? If he doesn't win, I always think about, I'm trying to look at the upside, which is keep him as low key as possible for as long as possible. That's what we do as players. And then just have him come out of nowhere, be another Kawhi, be another.
Don't have to pay him a max in 4 years.
Yeah, or we may, but I don't know.
So, Alec, we're gonna have to put this screenshot on the thing here, but the tweet below the rookie ladder when I just opened up Twitter, Paul George hyperextended the same knee again.
No, do not. No. Wait.
I'm gonna send this to y'all. But yeah,
like in tonight's game just now?
In tonight's game, against the Grizzlies.
No. Bro.
Get well soon, Paul George, but that is 2 hilarious looking screenshots on the injuries. That's tough. Okay, so Jared McCain back up to 20 shots.
All right. But speaking of Risa Shea, shall we do a little segment of hashtag Hawks or Bums, or are we going to leave that? Any updates there?
I think they've low-key been winning, bro. They're at the top of their freaking bracket in the cup.
They're
2-0.
They're
Yeah,
7-8. Yeah, they're basically
right
like win-loss. And again, we've mentioned this before, but the East has been so bad. They're actually the 5 seed right now. But I think they are currently down big to the Warriors right now. So yeah, they're gonna lose tonight.
Okay.
That's crazy, dude. They got the same record as us right now. We're 12th in the West and they're 5th in the East. Pacers need to get their shit together. Same with the Bucks, same with the Sixers. So I don't know, man. Hornets might make a run at the playoffs. Who knows?
For us.
East is weird this year.
I saw that OKC might have the Sixers pick again this year, unless it's top 6 protected. So I saw that Sixers might low-key, that's why they've been treating Joel this way and stuff, might just take an off year, get a top 6 pick in this draft, and then come back next year with Maxey, Embiid, freaking Cooper Flag.
McCain. Yeah,
McCain. So I've seen. It wouldn't be good for us if OKC got their 7th pick anyways. That
would be insane.
I'm honestly all down for them just sucking all season and getting a top 6 pick because OKC's already going to have the Clippers pick. They're going to have their own pick, and the top 6 protected Sixers pick. That'd suck if they got
somebody go
pick.
arrest Sam Presti, dude. Seriously. That's crazy.
And it was from freaking Al Horford trade in 2020. Oh, that's garbage. I forgot Al Horford even played for the Sixers for 1 year.
Yeah.
It's all finally turn around. Yeah, man. Yeah. Them at full strength. They'll have Hartenstein. They'll have Chet. And remember, who they picked this year? Topic? Nikola Topic?
He's out all season. But if he comes back to what, everyone thought he was going to be, he'll be there next season.
Or the ACL tear,
Yeah, he's out all season, but.
Oh, that's not good.
Wow. They're setting up their future heavy.
At some point, they got to trade some of these picks to get another.
Yeah. They can't take all these picks.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. Might just keep trading them for more future and future picks. Just keep setting up all their futures.
I guess.
Hashtag Brian Wright.
Yeah. The problem is, that like Case and Wallace, a couple of these guys like that, they're becoming variable, very
Yeah, I don't know if you're right. I don't know if they'll be able to pay them all.
Right.
And once they're all most of them are still on freaking rookie contracts and they're getting paid bare minimum, and they're not going to be able to pay. They have to pay SGA. They're going to have to pay Chet. I don't know if they'll be able to keep J-Dub. I don't know if they'll be able to keep all the other guys. So that's true.
Well, yeah, they're definitely not going to be a team that goes over the apron or whatever. I mean, once upon a time, they, were cheap and traded Harden. So, we're not going to go over the luxury.
I mean, and they've got all those guys on value deals too. So, just to your point, Tim, I don't think they're even close to those apron benchmarks.
So, Hawks, Philly, picks, not looking so good for the Spurs.
At the moment, not too good for us.
Yeah. One cool thing, Spurs have a Christmas Day game this year, which so excited for us to be back playing on Christmas Day. The NFL needs to sit down. Christmas is for the NBA. It's a basketball holiday, and it's Jesus' birthday. Spurs are playing the Knicks Christmas Day, and ESPN is going to air an alternate Mickey Mouse broadcast on Christmas Day. So we're going to have Mickey Mouse. I don't know if he's going to be the color commentator. I don't know if he's going to be jumping around the court all animated or what the situation is, but we've got a Mickey Mouse broadcast on Christmas Day for Spurs Knicks, and I could not be more excited.
Y'all think that's kind of copying the Nickelodeon shit with NFL?
For sure.
The slime.
For sure.
Yeah, slime game.
Yeah, it'll be on ESPN2 or something, or ESPNU, something like that. But I'm definitely going to be going back and forth listening to Mickey Mouse.
You're going to be tuned into that, please.
Yeah, I'll have to clip some of that for the listeners here. With some of Mickey Mouse's electric calls on Christmas Day.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Well, to round off this pod, let's talk next few games. The Spurs play the Jazz tomorrow. We're recording this on a Wednesday, not a Tuesday like we usually do. So tomorrow against the Jazz, then the Warriors on Saturday, and then the Jazz again on Tuesday, which is usually when we record. We can talk about that off camera, what we'd like to do there. But gosh, 4 times in the past, like whatever, first 15 games we play the Jazz. That's crazy. It's crazy work. So what do we think here? Predictions? Anything that we think? Do we hope to go 2-1 here? 3-0, upset the Warriors?
Yeah, I kind of wanted to say 3-0. Wemby and Devin already got ruled out tomorrow, so they're not playing again. So,
damn.
I
thought Wemby was just a knee bruise, man.
Too.
It's already going to be a week now.
Nah, screw it. I'll say 3-0. Let's go.
Ooh.
Come on, Tim. 3-0. I'm with you.
Yeah, let's go.
I'm with you. It's the Jazz, bro. If we can beat the Thunder without our guys, we can beat the Jazz twice.
Okay. Well,
come on, 3-0.
If we can beat the Jazz tomorrow, which I still think we should without them too, then maybe bring back the boys for Saturday's game, have them at full health.
Yes, they need to be back.
That's what I think. Yeah, the plan is. Hopefully, they're all back by Saturday.
Okay, if that's the case, then yeah, I say 3-0 as well. Let's go. Let's get ourselves to a winning record above 500.
I'll be the realistic one here, boys. 2-1 is what we're going, but we're gonna lose one to the Jazz.
Ooh.
Home or away?
I like that.
Home.
So
let's go home
tomorrow. We're gonna lose tomorrow.
So which one is the NBA Cup game?
That's next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday. Yeah.
Okay. We'll lose tomorrow, beat Warriors, win NBA Cup game.
All right.
I actually like that take.
Coming off the big win, everyone's still all hyped up. Chris is saying, boys, stay calm. No. They probably went out partying the other night. We're not winning tomorrow.
Regardless of if we go 2-1 or go 3-3, we will be back here in a week, and the Spurs will be 500 basketball
500.
team.
Yeah, 2-1 will put us at 500.
2-1 gets us to 9-9. If we go 3-0, that'd be a 10-8 record. Be pretty slick.
Look at us.
Man, when's the last time we were above 500? Seriously.
I mean, with this far into the season?
Yeah, this far into the season.
3 years ago, 4 years ago?
Right. Come on. I can see it happening. That's what I hope to happen. And I like to leave it on that. Let's leave it on that high note right there. That's a perfect
2-1
positive vibe. All right, 2-1 will be above 500. Come on, boys. Come on. So hopefully next time I see your beautiful faces, we can have something to cheer about. So
hope we have a winning record.
Yes, sir. Reagan, feel free to sign us.
All right, everybody. From the Spurs Bros, go Spurs, go.